Hello, everybody. This is the Drunkduck Quackcast. I'm as a nation. With me is Tansen Baines. Hello.
Hello, hello.
I'm waving.
Are you drowning, though?
Sometimes.
Okay, well, we're going to give you our theme song now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is, the Quackcast. This is the New Year's Quackcast. Well, I mean, really, we're on New Year's Eve. So we are the last Quackcast of 2024. So we're going to do a year in review. Ozone, Tansen Baines.
Which year do you want to do?
1906.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That was a good year for something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, get into your bodice tarts, and Baines and I will start wearing our
Bodices as well.
Yeah, extra tight bodices. And we will all be riding around on giant penny farthing bicycles.
Trying to avoid TB.
Yes. Looking very fashionable as we die of consumption.
Yeah. And very romantic, of course.
Very romantic. Well, you'll hear us cough one day. And then you'll know it's the end for us. At the end of the halfway through the telly movie. So that's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, you know it's the end. No, when the end is when you cough and blood comes out. That's when the end.
Just
is.
A little spot of blood on a nice clean white handkerchief.
That's like, goner waiting for the Grim Reaper to call.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
Well, speaking of that, we all survived COVID. And now we're in this weird post-COVID state where people go, "Oh my God, are you vaxxed? COVID, wasn't that a trick? Oh my God," and you think you not just live through that, you moron? What? You think it was all a trick? Are you an idiot? Oh my God.
It's like, and I have to say, I have not survived COVID because I never contracted it. At least not yet. So, yeah, I'm like the Neo of COVID, like avoiding all the COVID attacks.
All those COVID bullets not hitting you.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. But yeah, I actually managed to not get COVID, or I was asymptomatic and never realized it.
You probably didn't get it. Because you'll know if you get it. I mean, you can be asymptomatic, but I don't know. Yeah.
I also did vax, and I even got my what's the update one?
Booster.
Called? The booster, yeah. So yeah.
Well, I need a booster now.
You didn't?
But, well, we should, before we natter along too much, because we're going to do a year in review, and talk about everything we did over 2024. Before we get into that, we'll have to bring up Feature Comic. Feature Comic was a comic that I was initially going to feature, but I gave it to Quai because it was her turn, and this comic needed to be featured on Christmas Day, which it was. And it's called A Yuletide Story. It's a comic by Pipeline Lizards. So, Quai, tell us about A Yuletide Story now.
Hello, this is Alexey, and the feature I've selected for this week is A Yuletide Story by Pipeline Lizards, and it is rated E for everyone. The winter solstice is approaching as the elderly, recently retired Yule Father sits by a fire pit roasting fish on a stick. The woodland creatures, mainly squabbit, are in turmoil, searching for a replacement Yule Father after the former one decided to retire following a dangerous mountain giant attack the previous year. The next Yule Father requires the unanimous support of the woodland creatures in order to have power. Squabbit, with the help of a horse called Apple Grey, frantically train the potential Yule Father successors, Spruce and Piney, before the mountain giant's inevitable return. The coloring style uses a black, white, and teal color scheme with pops of accent colors to liven up a scene. The Squabbit's interaction with the mountain giant is reminiscent of a trickster character found in folklore. Take a bite out of the sun and read A Yuletide Story by Pipeline Lizards, rated E.
That was Quackcast telling us about the Yuletide Story. Thank you very much for that, Quai. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about Gumwaltz's theme for this week. He's given us a theme to Imago, Nebraska, which is a comic by Inky Moondrop. So, this music, I would describe it as a super duper low and chilled out Oxygene 4 from Jean-Michel Jarre. This is a thoughtful, sleepy, spacey, relaxed, and otherworldly sound. So take it away, Gummels, with your theme to Imago, Nebraska. That was Gumwallace with his Imago, Nebraska, which is also a comic by Inky Moondrop, who is our lovely, amazing Hungarian ducker. So, yeah, we always like to support someone who's that active on the site and the community.
Yeah.
So keep on going, Inky Moondrop. All right, so now the year in review. Well, we were just talking about the fact that a Yuletide Story got featured, and the thing that helped it get featured, of course, not only was it fantastic artwork and fantastic writing and all that, it was the fact that it was a Christmas story, and it had enough pages and everything, and it was good work on Christmas, so that helped it get featured. So Tance was saying, if you want to do like a Easter's coming up, so if get your Easter comic and maybe. And we could even branch out. We could do like Diwali comics, so get that kind of thing going. Get a Ramadan comic up. I don't know. We've already passed Hanukkah, but you could do a late Hanukkah comic if you want. Let's
Absolutely.
get all the things.
Basically, and you know what? If you have and that I haven't asked Oz, so he might shoot me down once. But I'm thinking that if you do have a comic that references some anniversary celebration, holiday from any culture, just drop us a note. And I don't know if it will be featured, but I would be more than happy to put it on a news post, at least. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be really, really good if we could feature that. Yeah, like normally we don't feature things that people have recommended, not their own comics that they recommended featured, because that's just not how it works. But for celebration of particular things, maybe we could bend that rule, because that sounds like a good thing, because we like to support people's celebrations. I'll just say
the discretion of the featurers.
Yeah. This is me and Quack.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you can hear any cat sounds in the background, that is a very long video played for my cat, who is ill at the moment, and he needs to listen to that to calm down. So he's watching an 8-hour-long YouTube video of annoying cat sounds.
Yeah.
I tried birds, I tried mice, I tried fish. He doesn't care. He likes listening to cats. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So,
the sound of his people.
That's right.
That's the thing. Exactly. So yeah, I hope it gets better. So yeah, featuring comics with theme stories is a fantastic idea. So, a year in review. Well, 2024 was a year like any other. Various things happened. One of the big things is, of course, Alexey, our programmer. He came up with a lot of, advancements, and then he had a bit of a breakdown, and he wasn't able to do work anymore. So we've lost Alexey, unfortunately. So we're going to have to find a new team to do our work for us. So that's going to be tricky. They'll have to know Python and various things. So, that will be tricky. Let's see, what else? Drunkduck has a new comic on the front page. This is something we've always really wanted. I think we did start something like this back in the super early days, like 2003 or 2004 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think there was a duck and quail comic every now and again. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now we've finally got a comic that's a regular thing, and Baines is doing it. It's called Community Falls.
So far, I've drawn it on stuff. Maybe we can expand it later.
Yeah, we can branch it out when we want to get it super sexy and big boobs and butts. I'll do that one, and then Tance will do the bloody battles version, and we'll all split up depending on our expertise. Oh dear. But yeah, it's fantastic so far. It's very retro in style, I find. From reading it, it
very
reminds
much.
me, of Popeye and early comics, Felix the Cat, that kind of thing. Really.
Newspaper funnies, more or less.
Yes, newspaper funnies from probably the 30s and 40s, which are the earliest ones that I had some awareness of, and I didn't even really read them. But these were the oldest ones, and I read about them later. And they kind of appealed to me. So I thought, nobody knows about these. So I'll do those. I'll do a version of those. And of course, the people here are so educated on history and everything. Everyone knew. Oh, it's this.
No, I love that. I love bringing that style back. It's freaking awesome.
And you know what? It's testament to how cool Duckers are. Like, because we have people from all cohorts and all levels of familiarity with the history of comics. And it shows we are awesome. That's basically what I'm saying.
For sure. Yeah, awesome all around. I'm sure like there are plenty of people who see it and don't make that connection because that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's new to them. Like when I was little, like videos were just coming in, and we didn't have a video recorder in my house. We kind of would rent one occasionally, and there would be the crappy videos that were available. There's lots of really old cartoons because back then they didn't have a lot of new stuff on the shelves, and these were old cartoons from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and that kind of stuff. And so reading this comic really takes me back to those old 30s and 40s cartoons. It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
So that was that kind of style. So yeah, just reading it just goes, oh my god, this is beautiful. This is, and it doesn't seem like a tribute or something like that. It seems original.
Yeah, it's kind of taken the setting from like Lil Abner is the one I know. And the character type is that. We kind of talked about this on another podcast. That sort of dumb...
The dumbass, yeah.
Strong as an ox, dumb guy. So we'll see what happens going forward. I'm so basic. I'm such a basic human that I don't know like how clever it's going to be. But yeah, the stories will be quote-unquote original. I don't know how original they'll actually be. But it's also open-ended. It's not really stuck to, like, it has to be about this or that. So we'll see where it goes as it goes forward.
Yeah, the setup generally feels that it could have a range of characters and not just one or two.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, almost like guest stars coming in for a while, like a cameo of sorts, and then being in out of sight, out of mind for a while, and then maybe, being used again for a gag.
Yeah. Yeah, like you read about some of those old comics that were newspaper strips and everything. And that was my first exposure to a lot of this stuff, was reading about it. And you read about it, and it's amazing because the world is huge for these comics, just for the reason you said, Tans. Like, people will come in, and then they'll step out and they'll be gone maybe for years. And then they'll come back in, they'll show up again, many years later. If it's a Peanuts comic, they're all still kids. And then the kid comes back, but it's been like 15 years since you've seen it. That all that stuff is really... These worlds, over time, grow so elaborate. It's great. And we're not doing it daily, we're doing it weekly, so we don't have space to get that. I mean, it'll take us a lot longer to get there, but...
Yeah. And also it's like these worlds are stuck in time. Like you said, the kids remain kids and nobody ages, because that's not the point. So I like that, honestly.
Oh yeah, I like it too.
Same. It annoys me when things, people say, oh yeah, now we have to have continuity and these kids are no longer children, they reach puberty and all that. But things just work better when your fictional world just stays like constant. If it's a regular thing, like for a sitcom or something like that, like a cartoon, like The Simpsons, for example. Because you're dealing with this stable world and you want it to stay stable. And it just works really well that way. Better than things where you're forced to do change. Like, say if you're doing a live action drama thing or a live action sitcom, then you have to incorporate time because actors change physically. So you've got no choice. But for comics and cartoons, they're in the same kind of thing. Like, yeah, he said with Peanuts, they can stay children forever.
Yeah,
and it just works. And so, what year is Community Falls set in?
Unclear. No spoilers here. Maybe, for all I know, it's I was going to say something that might spoil an idea. So
it's set in 2050.
For all we know, it's a laboratory of a small town, and it's happening it's happening in the future.
It's the Truman Show.
It is a holodeck program.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh dear.
The whole thing is just a coffee break for some office workers on a holodeck.
It's the comic version of a role play game that these people did, a desktop role play game. On a spaceship, 3,000 years in the future.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's set in a small town in the 30s or 40s, like a little Abner type. We haven't seen a whole lot of characters yet.
Yeah.
Set in the 30s or 40s or earlier. Or it's in Canada right now. One of the two.
You know what? As long as we don't see extremely specific tech, like a cell phone or something like that, even an old-timey car could be just, an antique that is still being used because it is an old. So you don't really know exactly what the year is. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's all kinds of tricks of the trade, aren't there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it anyway. I love it so far, so it's going well. It is a win. In my book, and it's getting
yes, me too. Me too. I really like it.
And speaking of all that continuity stuff, that is open. When Tance and I, our first emails talking about the idea, we called it Continuity Falls, the name of the town, but also maybe an escape hatch for a lack of continuity. If things get weird and we want to bring it back, like, hey, well, no, it's right in the title.
Is
exactly.
it Continuity Falls? Because I thought it was Community Falls.
In 2025, Oz has to learn to read.
Damn it! I've just been reading as Community Falls. Jesus.
No, it's continuity.
Ay. See, if I was an idiot, I would say, "Oh, it's a Mandela effect. It's a Mandela effect." It was. I was sure it was. You just changed reality.
I thought that was the Mandela effect.
My god! Change reality again. No, it's not fair. I'm not wrong.
Changing reality already.
It's the world that's wrong. So yeah, Community Falls. That's the new name of the comic now. I'm changing. Oh dear. You know how I originally read it? As Continuity Fails?
Yeah.
Oh.
It kind of looks like that too, yeah.
That's how I originally read it. And since it's been
I'm sure some character can have enough of an accent to make it sound like Continuity Fails.
Continuity Fails.
Yeah.
Oh man. Whatever will I do?
Yeah, like really southern bell level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuity Fails.
Yeah.
Continuity Fails. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I always depended on the kindness of strangers.
Yeah.
Aye. Okay, yeah, so that's going to be a fantastic piece of work for going into 2025.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, and it is one more unique thing that the Duck has compared to everybody else. We have our in-house weekly funny. That is a thing now.
And that sounds extra funny to me because it sounds like you said fanny. And that's a very big word in Australia.
Oh, the bane,
funny.
the bane of every Greek person is saying funny and also saying seats, because it sounds not like what you put on a bed, but what you drop in a toilet bowl. But yeah, we grin through the giggling and bed.
Oh dear. Well,
and Tensa's new comic, Verdant, did you say it was late 2023 you actually started, or?
Yeah, I think it was. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna check right now because I don't remember.
I think you might have started your original on Patreon in 2020.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe I did. But let's see the launch date, like the official launch date. My goodness.
Drunkduck is really slow.
2023. No, I'm slow because I had to open a tab. Okay.
Oh no, Drunkduck is slow. I have to reboot the site.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I started it late 2023.
Oh, okay.
So I did, but the bulk of the updates took place in 2024, and if I wasn't so overworked and exhausted, I would have probably finished chapter 1. I have like something like 5 pages, 5 to 6 pages left to finish chapter 1.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to end quickly, like chapter 1. I mean, because it's just a setup. I want to go into chapter 2, which is for me the juicier stuff happening. So, yeah.
Verdant. So it says.
Verdant.
Yes.
Excited. I'll definitely have to go back and read the whole thing as one when we get to the end of this.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
I would be curious to see what you think reading it as a whole, because, yeah, right now we have this extended fight, like a battle sequence, that has been going on for like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is supposedly like quick, really fast. It all happens in a moment that takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months.
I mean, I think most webcomics are like that. My webcomics are like that. It's like a story. It's a continuous story, but you're posting 1 or 2 pages at a time. So
yeah,
very different experience reading it as it comes out and then going back and reading the whole thing.
Yeah, very different.
Completed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Tance. First page was in August and then September. So, there we go. Of 2023.
Yeah, but because I update bi-weekly, so like twice a month, most of it was created in 2024. So we could say that it's really a 2024 comic more than a 2023 one.
It is. So, yeah. So, for the purpose of this Quackcast, Tance Reed started a new comic in 2024. It was fun. And Payne started a new comic. It was Kaiju Valentine. Which he really started in 2022, apparently. And I believe him now. So.
Hey, Mouse.
Hello, Mouse.
Mouse is chatting. He has, okay, so Drunkduckers. Oh my god, I have to say, yes. So, Mouse on Christmas Day was severely injured. He's my cat. And at the moment he has to be kept in a cage in order for his injuries to heal, and he's not very happy about that. And he has moments when he gets totally like he relaxes and he sleeps, and he has other moments when he's jumping around trying to break through his steel cage. So... Oh God! Chat amongst yourselves. I'll have to go and deal with this.
You heard us talking about him.
Yes. Psychically. Alright. Oh, I think his video stopped. Maybe? I don't know. He's been watching TV of cat noises and damn it. So I'll have to replay his first video, which he loves. And yeah. So anyway, year in review. What else has been happening in 2024? Well, we had our Flock of Dreams.
Yeah, and your anthology project came out well.
Yeah. Not only the anthology that includes some of the best crafted stories, short stories I have seen in a while. I'll be honest. In the theme of dreams, with some really surprising entries from creators I didn't expect. Pleasantly surprised, I mean. And also it's the year of our first collaboration in a comic. And
the three of us, yes.
Yeah, the three of us,
First time.
which we completed. We started it, we planned it, we finished it. So
The power of a deadline. I mean, of a flexible deadline. Luckily, we got some flexibility on that. Luckily for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that was great to actually get to finish it. And, put it in there. Excellent.
Yeah. So sorry, you might be also hearing my cat for some reason. I don't know why. He decided to unionize with Mouse.
Yes. Sympathy meows.
Yeah. Like he had been listening to the meowing for a while, and now he decided to meow. And he's not even in my room right now. He's in the room next door.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, here he is.
We're all looking at Oz's injured cat.
Yeah.
The mouse we're talking about is a cat.
Yes.
The cat mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wanted his dad.
Yeah.
He needs cuddles. Hey. Okay. So yeah, Flock of Dreams and Key of Dreams, which was our comic, was an amazing thing. So we'd sort of done we'd all participated in Bottomless Waitress to some degree, but that wasn't an official collab.
Mm-mm.
So that was just it's like guest pages pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, Key of Dreams was an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for me, in that I was like finishing pages like weekly for a comic, and sometimes more than weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. And not just finishing them, like top tier excellent pages.
Amazing.
With full color and all of that. So
thank you. I really, really, really enjoyed that, and it really invigorated me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a fun experience. And then finally, when I was able to finish that, I was back to Bottomless Waitress again and doing pages for that. So that was cool.
Yeah, I had some delays on my end of writing that and kind of thumbnails and stuff like that. But always happy to get back to it and start doing it. Yeah. And it sort of feeds itself, for me anyway. Once I can get myself to get started on something, then you just go, and you're there for hours, and it's
yeah. Well, I think doing Key of Dreams unlocked some new kind of levels for us and new talents for us, because like Baines, you'd always offered to do thumbnail versions and quick versions of Bottomless Waitress pages, but hadn't really been like doing that formally. That would just be a very informal thing. You do it occasionally, and you weren't really sure about your artwork. You're a bit embarrassed and stuff often. And
it's just stick figures, and it's also like, does Oz want this? Like, maybe you want to figure it out, but then you said no, you want it. But yes, definitely insecure about what it's going to look like and if it's going to make any sense.
Then with Key of Dreams, that was like, yeah, this is your job now. Your job is officially doing layouts.
Yeah.
Right.
Without that, we wouldn't have been able to do the comic.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah.
Like, you were the director of photography, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did the lighting. Really.
Yeah.
You chose the lenses.
But, but I mean, like you were doing the directing of the scenes, and that was amazing. And then when we went back to Bottomless Waitress, like, now that is an official part of it now, completely official.
Yeah, those thumbnails have gotten more full and like more. They're still like very rough, but they're in color. Like, I like doing them in color, and I like doing them more. Yeah, kind of more realized. Even if you end up changing things and solidifying things and moving things a bit, that's totally fine. But it's very fun to do them in color and do them with a little more detail, and kind of see how
I changed it a little bit, like to bolden some panels and all that kind of stuff. But like when you describe really advanced kind of expressions like sad and willful and a bit contrite, but also, and I'm thinking, wow, and then you do a sketch and I think, okay, that's a good starting off point. So, yeah.
Then you see the sketch and it's just like a blank face. If that's what you want, I can do that. Yeah. Jane agrees, and she's happy to hear what she's hearing, but she's also reminded of many years ago, a wonderful memory of I did have a couple of complicated layouts, like this in the foreground, this in the middle, this in the background, that I just described, and Oz wrote me back saying that, make sure and draw this one. I'll wait for you to show me what you mean by this.
Yeah, because you were so advanced with your descriptions, and I thought, I don't want to fuck this up. Or I don't want to mess this up.
Well, you wouldn't have, but
you wouldn't have.
Well, I didn't want to do it in a way that wasn't what Baines meant.
Yeah. I do want to say that without Baines, it would have probably taken you a lot longer to create the pages.
Oh, yeah. Every single time. Because, that's one of the hardest parts of doing comics, is reinterpreting the writing into visual images. Mm-hmm. That's really difficult, because your brain has to work on weird kind of ways that it doesn't normally have to do, because it's reading and then it's having to create images of this in like a narrative structure and cut it up into like 6 panels or whatever, which is really, really hard.
Yeah, totally.
To have Baines do all that work instead, yay!
and I'll be honest, I was glad I was able to just write the script and then just help with the concept art and just watch it come to life.
You happen to have a lot going on at that time. Like, things were busy for you for those few weeks, I remember.
Yeah, it was.
Very nice, full-bodied script. Very interesting. So it was.
Oh, thank you.
It was really neat.
And occasionally, Tance would do the layout for some of the pages.
Yeah, Tense did some great ones.
Yeah, just
Very strong.
Yeah, when we were really discussing on okay, how are we gonna do this transition or something, that's when I also contributed a little bit in the composition of the page. So
that was a lot of great fun. So yeah, that was our big thing for 2024.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's a great lesson in that collaborations should be finite, even in smaller chunks. Like you might, for example, take Brave Resistance, which was an incredible collaboration between me and Pitface for years on it. Like I'm talking at least 6-7 years or something like that. But it is a long form graphic novel, and it was a huge project. So it is about 50% done. The other half is not going to get made because we both moved on to other projects and life. So if we had truncated it to smaller volumes, maybe it would have been easier to complete. So as it stands now, we have discussed that it's probably worth it to release the script, just so that everyone can see how the story would be ending. Because story is, the script is there and finished. So I could upload that. I just have to figure out how to do it in a way that isn't boring, like too boring or overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm open to ideas.
Like you could do the first part again as like just prose, just as like a novel, and then do the rest of the script as a novel.
Don't want to do that. Because it does have, like, the way I wrote the script for Pitface was, it has like whole chunks of description that serves a little bit like prose in between the dialogue. So I don't want to mess with that, to be honest. And I don't want to get my headspace back to that project because I will be out of the headspace for the current projects I have. So
that's
right.
I was just thinking of Neil Stephenson's famous cyberpunk work, Snow Crash, which started out as a comic and then it became a novel, and it was a highly lauded novel. So you can always do it that way, but going back and doing stuff again is a bit it's a bit hard. But so you wouldn't look for another collaborator to do the later comic version?
I mean, if anyone wanted to continue the second half, sure. I mean, I wouldn't say no. Absolutely, I would be more than happy to finish it, because honestly, the best part is the second part. We did all the hard part.
Oh man.
Yeah. and all the second part, all the bombastic action is, and the stakes are really high, and everything comes into, everything falls into place and stuff. Just is in the second part of the comic, as you would expect. So if anyone wants to carry on with the artwork and work off the script, sure. I mean, just drop me a note, I guess. So.
Well, there you have it. That could be your project in 2025. Who knows? So what else is in 2024? I don't know. I'm not sure.
What else is in 2024?
Drunkduck became 22 years old.
Right.
That's pretty amazing. I could lie and make some stuff up if you like. Our millionth user, millionth member. We became the most valuable site on the internet. We are now the
Uh-huh.
oldest site that exists on the internet. That's true as well. Most valuable site. Like,
Absolutely.
Oh my God. We're like $1 billion property now. It's incredible. We have more comics than any other site in the world.
But what we can say that is actually factual is that we were one of the first platforms to absolutely nuke our Twitter account and jump to Blue Sky to protect artists, because the reason I told us that we should do that, and he said, yeah, go for it, is that Elon Musk wanted to scrape for AI all of the stuff on Twitter, including, of course, and first and foremost, all artwork. And we had, artwork from all of our webcomic artists that are featured, and more stuff depending on what was being posted, and retweeted stuff and all that. So we absolutely purged that account, and it just exists as a placeholder so that nobody else can take the handle.
Take the name, yeah.
And now we are on Blue Sky, and it is a far more active account than it was on X, because I work the account a lot more. I like it better there. What can I say?
I'll have to say though, like AI became a huge thing, exploded in 2024. And in that we mean generative AI, because AI has always existed, always been a useful tool, but generative AI, which is a thing that takes human created stuff and does remixes and pretends it's its own. It takes human created stuff with the writing or imagery, strips it of its IP, and produces a generalized mix of that human created stuff, pretending it's original, but really it's just a machine created mixture of the human created stuff, which is that's a bit sad. And you have these people using this stuff now going, oh, get with the program, you Luddites, this is how it is now, this is how artists is. No, you're not artists, you're just idiots. You're just cretins using a copyright stripper. That's all you're doing. There's nothing clever or creative. It reminds me also of the way a lot of musicians or DJs do music these days, which is they make stuff out of loops and like tracks that have been done, and like piece them together, and they call it an original composition, and that is fine as like for making the structure of a piece of music, and for putting a basic thing together, that's fine. But to go and do a performance with a bunch of pre-recorded MP3 tracks and pretend to mix them in a certain way, that's freaking sad. That's the same as like using Midjourney or something to do a picture. So
exactly.
From my point of view, anyway.
And it's also starting to really drain on resources. I was reading an article the other day about how now whole regions are competing in the electricity grid for power, because it takes so much processing power and therefore electricity to process for AI, for this Gen AI to work. So there's that. But I'm hoping it runs its cycle like a bad virus, like the NFTs did. And
NFTs just fade away. Crypto has sort of semi-faded away. It's still around, but people understand a cryptocurrency. People understand that cryptocurrency isn't actually currency. It's just a way of parking money. So it can't be a form of currency because you have to have currency to put in it. So it's just a way of it's like investing in shares or gold. Yeah, you have to understand that it's a different thing. It's like, putting money into real estate. So yeah, anyway, that's it has gone down in popularity, but these things, they're using massive amount of computer resources. You're right, Tance. And they're putting AI near everything, like your fridge and your washer dryer and your dishwasher, and they all have AI. Every phone, every computer now, this is AI. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
What?
And
Instagram,
and
when you write a post, it has suggestions for AI editing.
Yeah,
and for
it's
Gmail.
like they don't let you turn it off easily either.
I don't need an AI suggesting this. I can suggest way more intelligent things than your stupid AI could ever do.
Yeah, and like, I'm an author. Like, it's a bit insulting to tell me that you are going to tell me how I'm going to write stuff.
Yeah, we're not morons here. If we intend to write something simple.
Yeah, it is weird that it's, I don't know.
And also, it feels a little bit like creepy, like that. What bug is it? I think it is like some kind of wasp or fighter ant or something that coats itself with the empty cells of all the bugs it has killed in order to have to pass as these bugs that it hunts, and then kills them and adds the cell to its own carapace, and it just keeps growing as this very like creepy horror movie monster killer that wears the exoskeletons of its victims.
That sounds so cool, Tans.
That is scary. That would be a great movie monster. I've never heard of it.
I do plan to use it in Verdant.
For sure.
But it is a thing that exists in nature, and that's exactly what using Gen AI reminds me of, like using the dead parts of other creations that are alive when original, but now that they have been torn apart and reconstructed into this Frankenstein carapace that you wear to pretend to be an artist, sort of thing. So
oh, it's horrible. I think the only way around it is just to ban it, like to do full-on bans.
Yeah.
And jail time for people who produce stuff and it steals people's copyright. I think
exactly, yeah,
something on that level.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be a way of the future where it involves stealing people's stuff and repackaging it. That can't be a way of the future. What the?
I mean, honestly, when the whistleblower, the OpenAI whistleblower, showed up dead the other week. It's hard to think about even. It's hard to think about using it even for fun.
Oh really? My God,
it's weird.
You're not joking?
No, it's true.
Oh,
it's true.
Well, because I laughed at first. I thought it was a joke.
Oh no! It actually happened.
This is very much within Baines' level of humor, though. So
yeah, that's true. I do like that kind of comedy, but.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's. See, it's a freaking carapace guy. Like on all levels, like killing.
Yeah, exactly. He was revealing the unethical. He was a researcher with OpenAI, and he was revealing the unethical practices. There was something in process where he was a whistleblower, young man. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's Indian. Suchir Balaji.
Okay.
Suchir Balahai. Young man, whistleblower. Apparently a happy enough guy. Showed up. Allegedly ended himself. Was found in his apartment. So. I mean, the kind of money that's being made with this stuff, and combined with him being a whistleblower, I mean, red flags. Enough that
Yeah.
it feels weird even using it to me, like using
They
Chat
do, mate.
GPT or something like.
Yeah, and I think either today or yesterday there was this article about OpenAI, more or less demanding pretty much like a Doctor Evil level, insane uh, amounts of money as a subsidy or whatever it is, like a investment in order to work.
What you
Like they
mean?
literally had,
$1 million.
yeah, no, yeah, $1 billion. But the thing is that, like, they had the nerve to say you have to invest in us as you have never invested before. Like who the bleep do you think you are? Yeah,
We
I
have
don't know.
to eliminate them. We have to like pay a mercenary squad to go and just get rid of their servers and get rid of the creators of these yeah. Get rid of them all. Eliminate. Where are you still, Team 6? We need you again.
Yeah. I do think that at some point, like Napster was huge once upon a time, and now it does not exist. I do think we are going through a season like that, and then these
The
two
difference
shall
is
pass.
though, the difference, like Napster was like a bit of a they had no big money behind them. Napster, they were like the people they had behind them were like just users who were happily stealing copyright content. But now we have the massive money like Facebook, YouTube, Google, you know.
Yeah, but you remember they invested in like NFTs as well, and the 3D internet, the metaverse. Remember that?
Yeah.
That is dead. But they siphoned, I don't know how much, like insane money went there as well, and it's dead. So.
Oh, it's a shame. Drunkduck could have been part of the metaverse if that had succeeded, and that would have been a new renaissance for us because we had stuff in the works with our old WoWio CEO Brian Altonian. He was trying, behind something like that, but alas, it was not to be. We keep on going on and going on, surviving as we have been for 22 years.
Indeed.
Outlived all this bullshit.
Oh, it's almost midnight, you guys.
Oh, it's almost midnight. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for listening to the last Quackcast of 2024.
3,
Happy New Year.
2, 1. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.